Hi, my name's Phil. I like talking about politics, and in this video I'm going to talk about the impact of the current crisis on shoppers, certainly in my region of the UK. But first, if you'd like to be notified of daily news in politics, then please subscribe to the channel and click the bell notification icon. Now, in this particular video, a little bit of a trial. It's not actually going to be news as such, and it's not actually going to be political. I'm going to try and keep that out of it. This is really just my observations of how people around me are behaving. And, for today, it's going to be very much on the shopping. This is very much going to be rambling, by the way. When I do this sort of thing, I am going to go off topic. This is not in any way scripted. So, at the point at which I'm recording this, it's Tuesday lunchtime. I'll be bringing this out later. If YouTube demonetize it, they demonetize it, whatever. And this morning, I went to do some midweek shopping, as I often do. I do my main shopping on the Sunday, and then I'll get a couple of other bits at some point during the week, because, full time now. So I find it quite nice just in the middle of the day just to be able to go out and do some shopping. It's pretty good. And the crazy is still there. So, the toilet roll buying had already been gone, and the shelves are still largely empty. There's the odd one still there, it looks like, but, they're still basically empty. But I went into Morrison's today, and as soon as I'm looking at the car park and thinking, does it seem busier than normal? It didn't really seem busier than normal. But then when I went to the store to get a trolley, there's very few left. I thought, yeah, it's going to be busy. I thought, what could people possibly be stockpiling now? The toilet rolls are all gone. What else could they possibly need? The pasta's gone, the toilet rolls are gone. What do they want? So I went in there. It seemed fairly normal at first. And actually doing my shopping, there were some things that had struck me that I hadn't seen before in a supermarket. First of all, there was very little bread, so I couldn't get my choice of the normal brand of bread I get. There was some bread though. My girlfriend would have been happy because the seeded bread, there was still some seeded bread there. But, your normal white bread, very difficult. So I got a Danish loaf and some, like, the really cheap stuff that no one else wanted. Because I'm going to use it for grilled sandwiches anyway, so that's fine. And so that was the first one, because that wasn't out of stock. I went out to do my Sunday shopping, plenty of bread. And I'm thinking to myself, so why are people all of a sudden now moving on to bread because that goes off? I've normally been fine when I've been getting my shopping, and I have not been getting anything extra. I promise you that I have not got a single item that I wouldn't have ordinarily got. But I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, are people freezing it? Because I think that's what's happening now. I think people are moving on to things that will go off, but that they're freezing it. Because as I say, I've been, fortunate in that generally the things I would buy are not going to be the things that people would stockpile. So I've had no problems. I don't like pasta. I don't really get much rice. I can't really manage it these days. But where it really hit me was not so much when I was going around the store, because most things were actually fine. You could see things being depleted, but there were still items there. But the bread was not. That was a new thing. That was new. But when I got to the checkouts was when it was really odd. Now, I look at what people get at the checkouts, because sometimes things baffle me. This is one of these off-topic things. My girlfriend will laugh if she's watching this. Because this was before Christmas. This is when this was happening. And we were in Tesco on a Saturday afternoon getting some things. Now, generally speaking, I would not go shopping on a Saturday afternoon. But my girlfriend was going because, she was fine going to the busy places. I don't like the busy places. So we're getting some things for tea. And in front of us is this old lady. Now, she's got a small number of items. Now, immediately at that point, that sets off alarm bells in my head, because Saturday afternoon in Tesco is rammed, absolutely rammed. You do not go there for a few odds and sods. It's too busy. You go at another time. She was an old lady. She looked like she was probably retired. She could have gone at any time. But even if not, even if she was still working, she did look rather old, then there are better times to do it. You would not go for that. Then I looked at because I thought to myself, well, okay, so sometimes, let's say you're holding a dinner party or something, and you've run out of the thing. Oh my God, I'm out of kumquats. This is a disaster. It's going to be chaos. I need kumquats. So you brave it. You go on the Saturday afternoon for kumquats. I don't even know if Tesco sell kumquats, actually. But whatever it is, the thing that somehow you've neglected to have enough of, You go and do an emergency shop. Yes, it's going to be busy, but you have to do it because you've got people coming over for dinner tonight. I get that. I get that. So she had on her trolley a courgette, a single courgette. She had a magazine as well, chocolate bar and a sandwich. Now, this is what I couldn't be dealing with. I could get the courgette. She's got a dinner party. She didn't have a courgette. Or she didn't have enough courgettes, so she's gone and bought a single courgette. Yes, she's got to put up with the busyness, but, at the end of the day, someone's coming round. She needs the courgette. It's the absolute key to the brilliance of her dinner party. I understand that. And the magazine, she just saw the magazine and got the magazine and the chocolate bar. That's fine. What I couldn't accept was the sandwich. What we're talking about here is someone who's bought a courgette. A courgette takes some skill to cook. It's not an easy thing to cook, I think. Takes a little bit of skill. And someone who was planning on having courgette, if they just didn't have enough courgettes, they would just put peas or something else in instead. You would do something else. So the fact that she's bought a courgette assumes that she can cook. And if you're from Italy or France or someone like that, and you think, well, of course you can cook, she's an old lady. In this country, that's not a given. We're pretty bad at cooking in this country. Most people do not actually know how to cook. I'm considered something of a wizard because I can cook some basic things. And but she bought a sandwich. Now, this isn't, a sandwich for now because lunchtime-ish, and not that it was lunchtime, it was after lunchtime, but, and she'll have that to tide herself over. If she can cook, she can make her own sandwich at home. And this wasn't a fancy sandwich. It's like, there's Stilton and beef or something like that, which is very nice, by the way. And she just didn't have the individual ingredients. It's like a deluxe sandwich. No. It was a bog standard cheese and ham sandwich. And I couldn't be doing with it. The concept of someone getting a sandwich, buying a sandwich when they could easily make that at home, and someone who can cook a courgette. So that's what I was going through. So, long-winded way there. But I was looking at this in lots of other people's things as well, because they were clearly stockpiling. And do you know what I kept seeing? I kept seeing people talking to each other. I'm not stockpiling. This is what I'd normally get. Absolute rubbish. Rubbish. But there was a fella in front of me. Sorry, it's a bit blurry, this photo. There was a fella in front of me. And he had 60 cans of beer and half a dozen bunches of flowers. This is stockpiling gone wrong. Tuesday morning. I mean, sometimes you'll see people getting loads of beers in for a weekend if there's some big event going on. But actually, we're moving towards a time when we're being told not to, get social gatherings going on. 60 cans of beer. This is someone tidying themselves over. And what's the half a dozen bunch of flowers for? That really is doing stockpiling wrong. That really is. I couldn't wait. I wanted to ask him. I almost did. I desperately wanted to ask him. I can see people all around. In fact, I was actually quite I was going to say to myself, I'm the only person here with my trolley, with my small collection of midweek stuff. A few bottles of pop and some chicken wings, because they'd run out of ribs of fire. I hate that. So I'd got chicken wings instead. And some bread and eggs. And Marmite, because I've been forgetting to get some Marmite. But the Marmite was fine. I was told they were running out of it, but it was fine. There was loads of Marmite. Thank God. And not that I was stockpiling that. I actually have run out of Marmite. I've got some Marmite peanut butter left, but no actual Marmite. So I now have Marmite. That wasn't stockpiling. Anyway, I just wanted to ask him. And I was quite pleased with all these people who were clearly stockpiling still. They're just not stockpiling toilet rolls. There was a disturbing number of people buying kitchen roll, though. I hope they're not using that as a replacement. Don't do that. That's what causes raw sewage to flood through the streets. But I was looking at other people, and I saw this one woman who just had some jars of baby food, just a few jars. And I thought, thank goodness there is someone else here who is not stockpiling. Because as I say, I've been used to going to the supermarket midweek. Even people who are doing that, they don't get that much. They were absolutely rammed, they were. There were a couple of people there talking to each other and clearly coordinating. They were telling, one person was telling the other what to get, and they were going their separate ways. They both had massive trolleys. And this confused me because I didn't know whether they were knobheads or really kind. Because I thought this is two people clearly in the same household, massive, the big trolleys as well, loading them up. And that's two big trolleys for one household. That is not a normal. I understand some households will need a big trolley for their weekly shop. That is not what this was. And I'm thinking, you're stockpiling. And the people stockpiling, by the way, are the people who are stopping the people who go out doing their normal shopping, which I'm still insisting on doing, potentially not being able to get something they need. And I mean need, not just want. And so I thought to myself, my initial instinct was, ooh, you beggars. And then I thought to myself, oh no, maybe they're really kind. I shouldn't think badly of them. Maybe what they've done is gone round their street and asked their elderly relatives or neighbours and stuff if they need anything. And they're actually doing multiple households worth of shopping. Maybe they're really kind. I hate that. I don't know whether they're arseholes or saints. Absolutely crazy it is. Absolutely crazy. And the problem is, at the moment, we're not even at the peak of this crisis. So we're not even at peak crazy yet. We have yet to achieve peak crazy. That's the situation we've got now. So those are just my rambling thoughts. Let me know, is it worth doing these? As not as the normal part of the schedule. I'll put these out later on. I'll not do them every day, of course, but every few times a week, probably some observations on what's going on in my immediate area. Let me know what's going on around yours as well. I hope you found the video interesting. If you did, don't forget to click the like button. If you'd like to support the channel further, then please also click the Patreon link for details. And until next time, I'll see you later.